Hello everybody, welcome to Studios. My name is Magnus, and today I'm going to be making a video about one of LEGO's newest themes, which is One Piece. You see, while on the time, a little bit after the One Piece theme released, I made a video where I asked the question if One Piece was basically the next LEGO Pirates theme because, well, the theme was kind of similar to pirates, especially because there were some pirate ships in the theme, of course. So I kind of thought it was kind of supposed to be a new pirate theme. However, recently LEGO announced some new One Piece sets that are gonna be released on August 1st. And these sets are kind of interesting because not all of them are pirate themed. I mean, there is really one set that is pirate themed, which is Garp's marine battleship, which kind of reminds me of Jabba's sail barge for some reason. Maybe it's just because of the front nose or something like that, I don't really know. But as you guys can see, it is still basically a pirate theme. But there is another set that kind of interested, that kind of caught my attention, which is Battle at Drum Castle, which is basically a castle. So that kind of made me wonder, is One Piece also a new castle theme? Because here's the thing, we have not gotten a castle theme since Nexonites, which came out back in 2016 and ended in 2018. So it has been a year since we have gotten a castle theme, if you do want to count Nexonites as a castle theme. And even though this is the only castle set, I do think it's kind of interesting how One Piece is now both a pirates and a castle theme. I just thought that was kind of interesting. But there is another set I kind of want to point out as well, which is Dory vs. Brogy, Giants of Little Garden. So this set right here actually reminds me of Vikings. You see, these two brick build figures do look like Vikings if you ask me. So that begs the question, is One Piece also a Vikings theme? Which, the thing is, we have only gotten one Vikings theme, which lasted from 2005 to 2006. So I do think it's kind of interesting how One Piece is also a Vikings theme. That's not something I was expecting whatsoever. So that actually kind of also surprised me. And while I don't really have too much to say about the other sets, I mean, I don't even know what they're themed after, honestly. Though the Showdown with Captain Smoker set kind of looks like a superhero set, honestly. But it's not really an original LEGO theme, of course. But I do think it is kind of interesting how One Piece is basically a castle theme, a pirates theme, and a Vikings theme at the same time. Kind of interesting how this theme is basically bringing back some of LEGO's original themes. I actually was not really expecting that. You have to keep in mind that these themes have not been on store shelves for some time. Now this is kind of reminiscent of what Ninjago did a few years ago. Basically, some of the older Ninjago seasons are basically kind of brought back some of LEGO's original themes. Like for example, season 13 Master of the Mountain, that was basically castle focused, or really fantasy art focused. Season 6 Skybound was focused on pirates, of course. And the list does go on, but it's kind of interesting how One Piece is kind of like what Ninjago used to be. And well, I'm saying used to be because now Ninjago is not doing that anymore. Now it's just focused on its own thing with Dragon's Rising, of course. But it is kind of interesting how this team is doing what Ninjago was doing at one point. And I do find that kind of interesting. So it does make me wonder if this One Piece theme will bring back a couple more original LEGO themes, or at least concepts from original LEGO themes, I should say, because that would honestly be kind of interesting. But I don't really know what the future of this theme will be whatsoever, but I just kind of wanted to make a video talking about how it's interesting that One Piece is now a castle theme, a pirates theme, and a Vikings theme at the same time. I do find that to be kind of interesting. But anyways, that was basically it for this video. Now I would actually be curious to know what you guys think of this direction for the One Piece theme, the fact that it's bringing back some of LEGO's original themes, because I do think it's kind of an interesting direction for a theme. But anyways, that's it for this video. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube and hit that bell notification button so that you can know when I upload a new video. So that's it for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.